Does an educational institution reputation really matters? The answer is yes. Hi, this is Neil, and this is the Chapter 2 discussion on the 18 factors to consider when choosing your online educational institution. So sa chapter na ito, i-discuss natin ang focus ng advantages, disadvantages, and main factors affecting the educational institution's reputation and ranking. So first, i-define muna natin ang institutional reputation. So it is defined as the overall opinion and level of respect from students, employers, academics, governments, and public, which is about their feedback on a university or college. So, yun yung mga collected informations yan. Like services din. Kasi educational services ang isang educational institution. So, of course, may magbibigay dyan ng feedback. First is the students, the employers. Kung ano yung feedback ng employers about the graduates na nagtrabaho sa kanila. Next is about sa academics. Pwede kasing siguro ang academics pwede natin i-relate yung sa ibang institution, institution or inter-department, ito departments, different departments din kasi yan. So, ganun yun. Governments, kung ano yung about yan sa recognition or accreditation. Then, public, based sa mga tao sa community. And, in addition to that, it is developed also over the time. Saan na-develop yung feedbacks na yan? Dito yan. So, first is through consistent academic excellence, consistent and effective teaching, research achievements, successful graduates, ethical practices. So ethical practices, it's more on about what is right, and positive contributions to the society. So yan yung mga other reasons kung paano siya nabibuild, kung paano nagkakaroon ng maganda or hindi magandang reputation ng isang college or university or educational institution. So, kasi bakit yun kailangan? Dahil kung strong isang reputation ng isang university, for sure, pwedeng magiging result niyan is nag-increase ang isang confidence value para sa isang college. Nag-increase ang value ng kanyang qualification. Or, most of the time, nag-i-improve ang career path ng mga graduate mula dyan sa institution na yan. So, yun yun. Next is, i-discuss naman natin ang advantages of a strong institutional reputation. So, bakit nga ba siya nagiging strong? Kasi yun ang advantage niya. So, ito yung una. Increases graduate employability. Yes, kasi yung graduate ng mga strong academic institution are often mas notice sila ng mga employer as much more employable people. So, makikita mo yan sa Philippines na yun dyan pa lang sa local or sa Philippines pa lang itself, meron ng something difference doon kung saang academic institution ka nang galing, much more na pinapansin ka ng mga employer. Kasi na-try ko nga yan, may nakwento ako sa isang video na meron ako nakasabayan na someone from De La Salle or something, hindi ko naman hindi naman ako galit sa kanila, pero yung for like comparison lang, which is reality yun, kasi nga hindi naman natin maiwasan yan. We have a different level in the society. Pero yun nga lang, nagiging unfair minsan ng employer kasi nga, galing ako sa school from province, then napili yung school from this in the city, and compare sa amin na taga-probinsya lang. So, yun yun. Mas hindi ko nga lang alam, mas mababa ang tingin nila for the people who come from the province. Yun ang nararamdaman ko. Hindi ito biro na ganun-ganun lang. Yun ang naramdaman ko. Kasi, meron din akong na-meet na isang Filipino dito sa ibang bansa from the same university. Parang hindi sila ganun ka-welcome sa amin na mga galing sa mga mabababang klaseng school lang na graduate. So, kaya pinush ko talaga na mag-aral din kahit paano dahil nga dyan, nakikita ko kung paano nila tignan yung mga ganung klaseng graduate from different university other than their university. Pero kung ako ang tatanungin, I don't mind kung saan nanggaling ang university yan kasi ang tinitignan ko kung paano siya makipagkapwa-tao. Kasi ayoko yung over naman sa pagka-OA sa trabaho or sa pagka-strict na wala naman na sa lugar. Kung nawala din yung pagkakaroon ng consideration na makipagkapwa-tao. Plus, kasi kung galing ka sa isang mataas na university or magandang university, much may enjoy mo talaga ang better opportunities, much better ang salary, much better ang tawag dito, achievement, may greater chance ka to achieve something better. So, mas malaki talaga ang yung chance na maka-start ka ng much better career rather than nanggaling ka sa isang school na hindi ganun kaganda ang reputation or hindi ganun kakilala. So, yun yung pagkakaiba doon. Next advantage naman tayo is it enhances your professional credibility. Yes, kasi a degree from a respected and very well recognized and accredited institution, of course, malaking impact yan sa magiging career mo or kung saan ka man nag-a-apply ng professional or work, kung anong field man yan. So, malaki ang impact nun kapag maganda ang institution na pinanggalingan mo. Third is, it strengthens your networking opportunities. Yes, kasi ang mga well-established universities and malalaking universities and very highly accredited universities ay malawak talaga ang network nila. Masyadong expanded and very extensive ang kanilang alumni networks. So, meron din silang mga malalaking cooperation or partnership with industries, mga research institutions, or other professional organizations. Malawak masyado yung network nila pag ano. Isa yan sa mga kinoconsider dapat ng isang learner o isang online learner na tignan kung ikaw ay kukuha ng iyong degree or postgraduate degree. Fourth advantage is it reflects high educational quality. Yes, ang strong reputation nga ng isang academic institution reflects na ang isang university or college maintains a high academic standards. So, saan yun? Through qualified faculty, updated curriculum, masyadong mahigpit ang implementation ng kanilang quality assurance process, and meron silang modern learning technologies or updated kung ano yung bagong or makabagong learning technology sa current na time kung saan sila nagtuturo or nagpo-provide ng learning sa kanilang mga learner. So after ng advantage na yan, dito naman tayo sa disadvantages of a strong institutional reputation. So paano siya nagiging disadvantage sa iyo bilang isang learner? So ito yung una. Often, it results to higher tuition fees. Yes, kasi ang highly ranked universities, let's say Harvard or Oxford or ano pang university yan sa US, mataas talaga. Even Philippines, ng mga high-ranking universities, mataas talaga ang tuition fee. In which na, hindi ko naman naranasan yan dahil hindi ko kayang bayaran at hindi namin kayang bayaran yung ganong kalaking tuition noong time na yun. So siguro ngayon kung mag-aaral ako doon, pwede na siguro, pero wala na tayo sa Philippines, hindi na sa ibang bansa. And kung nung time man na yun na pwede ako mag-aral sa ganyang kalaking cost, hindi ko rin siguro gagawin kasi nga magiging financial challenge siya, baka ang ending hindi ko din matapos. So, yun. Kasi nga, hindi naman talaga ako galing sa isang high class na family or middle class nga lang, very low class kami. So, makikita niya sa ibang video, nag-working nga ako. Actually, from elementary to high school to college, working talaga ako. So, elementary, punta kami ng dagat, manguha ng shell. Gagawa nga rin ako ng isang video ng ganyan pag one time na nakauwi ko ng province. Papakita ko kung saan ako nanggaling. Kasi isa yan sa mga gusto kong makita ng ibang tao kung ano yung pinanggalingan ko talaga. At ano yung ginagawa ko noon before ako naging ganito. So next na tayo, which is number 2, competitive admission requirements. Yes, competitive admission requirements para sa isang high-ranking university or college. Yun yung about sa ano yung magiging requirements nila, ano yung qualification nila, ano yung magiging approach. Kasi normally, ang mga prestigious universities na matataas ang ranking, maraming nare-receive na application yan. Kaya ang gagawin nila, tataasan nila yung kanilang qualifications. So for example, mataas ang excellent ang academic records na nag-a-apply. Pangalawa is, strong dapat ang English language. So meron yung mga schools sa US and Europe na nagsasabing kailangan pasado ka sa IELTS or TOEFL, mga sinasabing test na yan, which is mainly for English language test yon. Plus, kung hindi ka magaganon man, kailangan ng recommendation letter na i-recommend ka ng isang sa workplace mo or sa boss mo or sa professional side mo then dapat may work experience ka, existing work experience na magsasabi na pasado ka sa qualification ng course na yon. Yung iba nga, merong entrance examination para ma-secure ang admission. So, meron akong na-try na entrance examination sa isang university sa Philippines is Pangasinan State University. So, nung time na yun kasi, it was 2006, nag-exam kami ng ate ko, business administration yung kinuha ko na line. Yung pala, lang sila, may cut-off until 50, number 52 ako. So, hindi ako nakuha. Yun. Masyadong mahigpit. Which is okay lang naman kasi hindi rin siguro kinaya kung dun sa partner dahil malayo din sa bahay. So, nag-aaral na ako as working, hindi kailangan na entrance exam, pero at least nakarating pa rin naman sa kung saan ko gusto marating ang magiging career ko. And third disadvantage is the rankings may focus more on research than teaching. Yes, kasi ang high-ranking institution, most probably, based talaga sila sa research. Pero ang research-based kasi is maganda. Kasi na-try ko nga sa UniAthena. Puro ka research, wala halos teaching, mas marami ka rin natututunan. Kung ikaw ay tao na mahilig magbuklat ng mga libro, magbasa, mag-search online ng informations, magawa ng iyong research based on what you have read and what you have learned, it's fine. Pero kung ikaw ay gusto mo yung tinuturuan every now and then hindi para sa yung research base. Yun yung sinasabi ko doon. Next is, what are the main factors na nakaka-affect dito sa reputation and ranking? So ito yung una. The academic performance of the institution. So, ang academic performance kasi is a major indicator ng isang institutional quality. Kasi bakit? Ang university kasi, often, nag-maintain yan sila ng high academic standard. Well-designed dapat ang curriculum nila. Well-updated. And dapat meron silang strong student performance and receive accreditation from recognized bodies, especially yung mga matataas talaga na accreditation institutions like sa US or sa Europe, mga ganun. Mga primarily or mga first-class accrediting bodies. Second factor is the research productivity. So, anong research productivity as a main factor? It is the quantity and quality of research produced by faculty and students. So, isa na dun yung mga nakapublish sa academic journals, online man yan, or through books or libraries, conference papers, mga patents and research grants, mga ganon. Isa yan sa mga example ng research productivity or a strong research productivity ng isang high-ranking institution. Third factor is the employer perception. So ano itong employer perception? Ito yung the reflection of how employers evaluate the quality of the universities or college graduates. So based doon kung paano mag-perform ang isang employee or professional sa isang field, minsan na-judge din accordingly kung ano yung klase na education na binibigay ng institution. Pero hindi naman na sa lahat ng oras ganun eh. Kasi marami namang institution na magaganda pero marami pa rin graduate na hindi ganun ka ganda ang performance sa work. Kasi depende rin yan kasi sa attitude na nag-build nila sa school which is nakikarry out nila sa trabaho. Fourth factor is the graduate outcomes. So, sa outcome means ano ba yung employment rate sa mga graduates ng university or college? Career advancement, paano sila nag-advance sa career? Salary, ano ang starting career most probably sa pinagkaiba ng isang high-class or high-ranking university than a middle rank or a lower rank university. Professional achievements, paano niya na-achieve yung professional life niya na much better compared sa other institution or college or university. And gaano kaganda yung contributions niya sa society. So ito yung contributions na yan, maraming pinagkaiba dyan kasi hindi lahat ng graduate ng isang high-ranking university nakakapag-contribute talaga sa society. And most of the time kasi, siguro may mga nagiging contribution sa society during the time of the study time. Pero nung wala nang study, hindi na rin ganun ka-active sa community. Mga ganun kasi na tawag dito na cases pagdating sa mga graduates ng institutions. So, yun yan. Next is the institutional history. So ano to, applicable to sa mga university with long histories which often benefit from established traditions. So meron sila ng experienced faculties, strong alumni networks, and meron na sila ng widespread public recognition. So maraming universities na magaganda na rin talaga and long time na rin na they are on that field and very well established na sila talaga. Kahit ano pa mang bagong university ang dumating. And the last factor is the international ranking methodologies. So, depende kasi itong international ranking na to, depends din sa organization or the educational institutions kasi marami din gumagamit ng different criterias o weighing systems. Hindi pare-pareho kasi. Ang process din ng pag-accredit, hindi rin pareho. Kasi, one region from the other, the way na kung paano nila i-evaluate ang isang organization, magkakaiba talaga yan. Kagaya nung services sa hospitality industry, magkakaiba ang per organization. Ang pwede natin masabing iba dito sa rankings na to is about merong mga institution na nag-focus sa research performance. Meron din namang mga institution na nag-focus into having a greater importance sa teaching quality nila. So, depende yun. Meron yung academic na focus on research, merong academic na focus on actual. Meron din namang institution na nag-focus to build their employer reputation or pwedeng international outlook na mas globalized or international ang kanilang mga graduates na pwede makakuha ng opportunity internationally. So, nakadepende lang kasi kung ano ang pinafocus ng institution at kung paano sila ina-accredit ng mga accrediting body. Kaya, yung international ranking methodology niyan mainly is kung paano lang yan makakuha ng opportunity based on something na makukuha mo or vary or derive from the different ranking system na meron sa academic programs or institution or academic accreditation from different regions, different countries, and different parts din ng mundo. So yun. Ang ending lang kasi nito is that an institutional reputation is an important indicator of a university, college, or institution's overall quality that should reflect its academic excellence, its teaching effectiveness, its research achievements, graduate success, and public trust. Kasi ang pagkakaroon ng strong reputation may benefit including the improved employability, greater professional credibility ng mga graduates, strong network opportunities para sa mga alumni ng school or mga upcoming professionals na mga galing sa schools na yan, and most especially the confidence in the value of their qualification. So, yun lang. So, thank you for watching this vlog. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe rin sa aking channel para lagi kang updated sa aking mga next online educational vlogs. Bye!